Saute Swayambhuvo Manu
Kanyantistad Dvarani
Kanyanvatishta Dvarani
Margayavara Janmanam
Margayavara Janmanam.
Shaunaka Uvacha
Shaunaka Vacha
Mahim Pratistam Adyasya
Mahim Pratishtam Adhyasya
Saute Svayambhuvo Manu
Saute Swayambhuvo Manu
Kanyanvitista Dvarani
Kanyanvatishta Dharane
Margayavara Janmanam
Margayavara Janmanam.
Saunaka Vacha
Shaunaka Vacha
Mahim Pratishtamadhasya
Mahim Pratishtam Adhyasya
Saute Swayambhuvo Manu
Saute Swayambhuvo Manu
Kanyanvatishta Dvarani
Kanyanvatishta Dvarani
Margaya Varajanmanam
Margaya Varajanmanam. Ladies,
Saunaka Uvacha
Shaunaka Vacha
Mahim Pratistam Adhyasya
Mahim Pratishtam Adhyasya
Saute Swayambhuva Manu
Saute Swayambhuvo Manu
Kanyavatishta Dvarani
Kanyanvatishta Dvarani Margayavara Janmanam.
Hare Krishna.
Shaunaka Uvacha
Shaunaka Uvacha
Mahim Pratishthamadhyasya
Mahim Pratishtam Adhyasya
Saute Swayambhuvo Manuhu
Saute Swayambhuvo Manu
Kanyanvatishtadvarani
Kanyanvatishta Dvarani
Margaya Varajanmanam
Margayavara Janmanam.
Shaunaka Uvacha
Shaunaka Vacha
Mahim Pratishtam Adhyasya
Mahim Pratishtam Adhyasya
Saute Swayambhuvo Manuhu
Saute Swayambhuvo Manu
Kanyanvatishtadvarani
Kanyanvatishta Dvarani
Margaya Varajanmanam
Margayavara Janmanam. Shaunaka 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 Vacha said Mahim the earth Pratishtam situated Asya having secured Saute O Sutta Goswami Swayambhuva Manu Kane what Anvatishtat performed Dharane ways Margaya to get out Avara later Janmanam of those to be born. Translation. Sri Shaunaka inquired, O Sutta Goswami, after the earth was again situated in its orbit, What did Swayambhuva Manu do to show the path of liberation to persons who were to take birth later on? Purport. The appearance of the Lord as the firstborn incarnation occurred during the time of Swayambhuva Manu, whereas the present age is the period of Vaivasvata Manu. Each Manu's period lasts 72 times the cycle of 4 ages, and one cycle of ages equals 4,320,000 solar years. Thus, 4,320,000 times 72 solar years is the reign of one Manu. In each Manu's period, there are many changes in many ways, and there are 14 Manus within one day of Brahma. It is understood here that Manu creates scriptural regulations for the salvation of the conditioned souls who come to the material world for material enjoyment. The Lord is so kind that any soul who wants to enjoy in this material world is given full facility for enjoyment. And at the same time, he has shown the path of salvation. Shaunaka Rishi therefore inquired from Sutta Goswami, what did Swayambhuva Manu do after the reinstatement of the earth in its orbital situation? So devotees, if anybody would like to say any comments or anything, please raise your hand at any time, especially Maharaj and Krishna Shravana Prabhu. It's said here that Shaunaka is speaking with Sutta Goswami again. So here we are situated in the Naimisharanya forest, and Sutta Goswami is being questioned by the sages assembled there, being led by Shaunaka Rishi. So we have just heard the description that Sutta Goswami gave to Shaunaka Rishi about the conversation between Maitreya and Vidura. So generally when you speak to somebody, then you may tell them about a conversation that happened before. Yeah, this person said this and then this person said that. That's exactly what's happening here. So in that conversation, the topic was about Vrahadev's appearance. So there was the firstborn incarnation, and he came and he actually slayed the demon Hiranyaksha with a swift kick to the bottom of the ear. The root of the ear, he was hit here and was then slain. And after that, then Maitreya was saying that, therefore I have described this, I described it as it was narrated to me by my spiritual master. Right? And that's the same thing that Prabhupada would always say, that he is simply repeating whatever he heard from his Guru Maharaj. So the same thing is actually coming from the Bhagavatam itself. Maitreya, after he spoke to Vidura, he said, I simply told you about Vrahadev just like I heard it from my spiritual master. Right? He says, he was fighting with Hiranyaksha just like a plaything. So then before that, we were hearing about how Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu came into being, right? There was the inauspicious time of procreation that happened, which led to the demoniac forms of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. And then we also heard even before that these four sons of Brahma, the Kumaras, they went to Vaikuntha and they met Jai and Vijaya. So we heard this morning in the Prabhupada Leelamrita that in South India there's a famous temple. It's the richest temple in India. It's in a place called Tirupati, and there's a place there called Tirumala. In that Tirumala is the temple of Balaji. Balaji means Krishna as a boy, and according to Prabhupada. And in that temple, there's a certain, construction, and when you go to see the deity, which is you see just for a few minutes, 15,000 people come every day, and they get to, for a few seconds, you get to see the deity just for a few seconds, isn't it, Marsh? Seconds. And then you have to go. So Prabhupada and his disciples, even though normally the non-Hindus means somebody that's not brown, doesn't get to go there, inside of there. But Prabhupada, being who he is, the devotees at that temple, they could recognize these are very special people that follow this person, and they got to come in and see. And at the gate, where you see the deity, then there's Jai and Vijay. So they cursed the four sons, or they did not allow the four sons of Brahma to enter into Vaikuntha, and the four sons of Brahma cursed them to become demons. And Krishna gave them. Maharaj?
Balaji is two-handed Krishna, or four-handed. He's Vishnu, but he's with two hands. Special GA. And this is the richest temple because people walk there or come there from all over India, and especially South India. And if a person can go to Tirupati once in his lifetime, he's considered fortunate. Some go more often, and some go by walking. And the way is up a hill, well, a mountain. So it's not so easy to get there. You have to walk a long distance and then go. But they go and they give whatever they can. They know that by giving to the Lord, they'll make spiritual progress. So, and they're waiting in line patiently, and they're chanting Govinda, Govinda. And we were very fortunate. I wasn't there when Prabhupada was there, but even afterwards, when I went, which was quite some years later, they invited the devotees to come and give them, feel a little embarrassed being in front of them. But that's their etiquette. And this is because Prabhupada's overwhelming his display of transcendental qualities and transcendental knowledge is appreciated by. Unfortunately, there's still some temples that don't appreciate enough. But Tirupati very much appreciates, and there's discussions between him, Prabhupada, and the leaders of the whole temple, and the whole organization is massive. And they were asking Prabhupada to give them directions, what they should do, what they could do to improve. And Prabhupada's main thing was, he said, you have to use the money for Balaji, he's Krishna, for his message. He wants to spread his knowledge all over the world. So use it for preaching Krishna consciousness. That's what he suggested. He said, and we can help with that. We have so many temples. So they said they would try. And then one thing is, ISKCON has a temple there, down at the bottom. of the, just not up at the top of the mountain, but down at the bottom. And so everyone who goes to the big Tirupati comes to our ISKCON. I was also there for the inauguration of that temple. Very nice, beautiful, and full cooperation between Tirupati, Vaishnavas, and ISKCON. Very nice. Another thing about the Swayambhu Manu, the verse said, what did he do to, can you read that was?
What did he do to show the path of liberation for the people who would be born?
Yeah, Manu is father of mankind. And so we get the name man or Manu as Manusha, one coming from Manu. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, so, Namivaste yogam proktavanham avayam manusham Vishwan manave ma Vishwan manave raha.
Manur Ikshvakave Bravit.
Manur Ikshvakave Bravit. Good. So Krishna says he instructed the sun god. And the sun god, Vivishwan. From Vivishwan we have Vaivashvata. Vaivashvata Manu is the Manu that was the son of Vivishwan, sun god. So, and then Nami Vasate Yogam, Proktavanham Avayam, Vivishwan Manave Prahur, Manu Ikshvakave Bravit. So this is how the specific succession came down from the sun god, or the dynasty of the sun. Krishna is from the dynasty of the moon. They come from different dynasties. But they also have there's one place where they come together because, long story, I won't tell the story. But, so Swayambhus, then Swayambhuva, that means he uses the Manu, 14 Manus in a day of Brahma. I mean, each Manu rules for 71 Divya Yugas. So a Divya Yuga is one full set of the cycles of Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. It takes 4,320,000 years. That's it, the Yuga. 71 times that is how long each Manu rules. And during their period of ruling, all the people, all the humans are supposed to follow their instructions, given the Manu Samhita. Manu Samhita means treatise of Manu. And in there, all kinds of laws are set up. In fact, I was interested, I was reading, Prabhupada was having a discussion, and it came up yesterday. Came up in the discussion that they were discussing the different classes of men. We have the 4 Varnas. So Varnas means Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, of the 4 Varnas. And they were discussing what is a Sutta Varna, and it's all described in the Manu Samhita in great elaboration. When a Brahmin father marries a Sudra wife, and this is the name, this is their occupation. It's all described there. So what it means is that there is some basis of birth, but it's not the final, it's not the most important aspect. Even though those things may be seen and analyzed, that when the father, like for example, Sutta Goswami, he's the son of Ramaharshan Sutta. Ramaharshan Sutta was not a Brahmin, pure Brahmin, by birth. But he was considered very learned, very qualified. He was asked to speak, even in front of mostly Brahmins. Means Brahmins by birth and by qualification. So there was nothing wrong with that. That was fine. But unfortunately, Ramaharshan Sutta, when Balaram came there, he didn't show proper respect for Balaram. And so Balaram said he's not qualified to speak. So he got changed. And Sutta Goswami was assigned to take over the speaking, his son. The son is like the father. So that's what Lord Balaram said. That if the son lives, if the benedictions that were given to Ramaharshan Sutta, that he would be able to speak for a very long time. But that was taken away. Balaram thought, I can give him back. No, he said, actually the son of the father, he's given the benediction in it. Carried on like that. So Manu, because some people may wonder where the laws come from. Who made up the laws of the universe? How do they come about? We say that something is natural. Natural means it comes from nature. It's as nature had it. So natural is better than something manufactured by man. Natural means it's coming from nature, and nature comes from Krishna. Maya dakshena prakriti. Prakriti means nature. Maya dakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetunanena konteya jagati parivartita. Krishna he's supervising. Maya dakshena. Dakshena means that he's a supervisor of Maya. Maya dakshena prakriti. And she's put in charge of creation and annihilation of all the universe. But it's all going on under his supervision. So Maya is working under him. Nature is working under Krishna. It's so easy to understand then why things are in order and why things are disordered. When Krishna's orders are not followed, disorder. When Krishna's orders are followed, it becomes wonderful. Harmony, peaceful, blissful, plentiful. So we should learn this from these scriptures like the Manusmriti. Manusmriti is still available, but it may not be the most important book for us to read. Bhagavad Gita is more important for us than Bhagavatam, because we're taking those instructions and they're already established. And the Acharyas have pointed out the essential features. Acharya means those who teach by their example. Like the Acharyas here, we have Swayambhu Naradaksha, 12 authorities, 12 major Acharyas in the universe. And who are they? Swayambhu, Narada Shambhu. Swayambhu means Brahma. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu. Narada Muni, son of Brahma. Shambhu is Shiva. He's one of the 12 Mahajans. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu. Kumara Kapilo Manu. Kapilo Manu. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu. Kumara, or Kumaras. They're the head of the sampradaya that we're discussing here. He's discussing about the 4 Kumaras. They cursed Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. Kumara, Kapila, Kapila had his ashram down in the Patala or Rasatala lower planetary system. He was there the whole pastime where he was there, and the sons of Sagara were looking for their horse, sacrificial horse, that the father Sagara was going to perform a great sacrifice. But then Indra stole the horse, as Indra often does. That's the way he keeps anyone from going ahead of him, because he's performed 100 sacrifices, horse sacrifices. No one else has been able to do it because he would steal the horse. Even if he had to go in incognito, like he showed himself like a sannyasi once. So, one time, he stole the horse of Prithu, and he was captured. But then the Lord came and said, "No, please forgive him. He's Indra, you can't kill him. So just be satisfied with 99 sacrifices." So, satisfied with that. And Indra's still known as the one who's performed 100 sacrifices. Anyway, down there was Kapila. Still there. And he didn't steal the horse, but the horse was there. So they tried to kill him. They thought he'd committed a horrible crime against the king, stealing his horse. But it turned out that he hadn't stolen the horse. He hadn't committed any crimes. He was a completely saintless sage, and rather than them being able to kill him, they burned themselves to ashes. So then that's another whole story, how they tried to, the only way that these sons could be taken back from their position would be if the Ganges water were brought down from the higher planetaries down to the Rasatala, and it was to go over the ashes of the 60,000 suns, and they would be brought back to life. That was a whole effort. It took many generations to arrange it. So many kings tried to bring the Ganges down. Only one, finally, Bhagavad. He was able to convince Ganga to come on the principle that, on the foundation that there would have to be somebody who would be able to take a force of her water coming down from the top of the universe. And so Lord Shiva agreed to do that. He took the Ganga in his hair. And so that way she didn't go through the earth. Otherwise she would have gone down to the lower planets.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees.